And the last thing I want to get to is this football situation, and the Indianapolis Colts just announced that they gave Jonathan Taylor permission to go and seek a trade. And if you remember how this all started, it all started from, I think, Saquon Barkley's situation that he had, where he was almost on the verge of holding out because he was at a standstill with his contract negotiations with New York. And it was a lot of talk going around, and a lot of people was talking about how the running backs are not getting treated right when it comes to contracts and all that stuff. And the fact that you can franchise tag them, and you play on a rookie contract, which is a 3 or 4 year deal, and everyone say the shelf life of the running back is about 6 years. So you come out of college, maybe 22 years old, and then by the time you're 26, your contract is up and you're looking for a new contract, and they franchise tag you, which they can do it twice. So they franchise tag you pay on the franchise tag 1 year, then you go into the summer again seeking a new deal, and guess what? They franchise tag you again, and now you at that shelf life at 28 years old, where they say all the running backs start to wear down. Because the wear and tear of a running back, they're in a mini car crash every play. It's a collision for a running back, because if you're not running the ball and trying to get through one of the gaps up the middle straight with a linebacker or a lineman that you're going to collide with full speed if you have the ball, and even if you don't get the ball and it's a pass, you got to collide with that same lineman or linebacker or blitz and safety that's running full speed at you, and you're going to have to block them or protect that quarterback, right? This is the life of a running back, play after play after play after play. Many car crashes for 4 quarters of football for 6 years. And then by the time they get that, they feel like, look, man, they're done. The decline on the running back is rapid. And they don't feel like, no matter how good you are, you could be the best running back. By the time I let you play your rookie contract and franchise tag you 2 years in a row, you're done. Now I can go and draft another one, right? And the quarterback, if I get a franchise quarterback, I pay him because I can keep him for 12, 13, 14, maybe sometimes 15 years, and I just keep recycling the running back out. His number one target I keep at receiver. The rules protect receivers, so they're not taking the type of beating that a running back might be taking. So yeah, I keep his number one receiver. You get chemistry with him, and I keep y'all together. Or if you're tight end, I keep your tight end with you. But we go recycle this running back out, right? And there's a history of that with the Colts. I don't think Marshall Faulk got a big deal with the Colts. He ended up leaving and going to the Rams, and I don't think Edgerrin James did either, right? So is a history of that. Edgerrin James was there, and he was really good with Peyton Manning. And next thing you know, they had Jay Ajayi there. So it was Marshall gone, Edgerrin gone, Jay Ajayi gone, and then Peyton was done, and they bring in Andrew Luck and started the cycle all over again. Right. So that's how they're treating running backs. But let me play how they talked about it on the air. It was Swagoo, RG3, Adam Schefter. They spoke about it, and this is what they said.
Adam, thank you. That's the off field, right? You got to sort things out. And I think we could see, Robert, that things were heading in this direction, right? He wanted what he wanted, and they made it pretty clear it wasn't going to happen. Is it a mistake for them to move on, particularly given what Adam just referenced, and that's the quarterback situation?
Yeah, SVP, it's 100% a mistake for them to move on from Jonathan Taylor. It's just another example, fellas, of the league and how it's looking at running backs and not giving them the value and the money that they, I feel, have earned. But even more so for Jonathan Taylor, it's a question of why would you trade him away now when you just brought in Anthony Richardson? As a quarterback, as a mobile guy, a guy that can do it with his arms and his legs. I had Alfred Morris my rookie year when I was in Washington. He ran for 1,600 yards. Jonathan Taylor has been their best player throughout their entire quarterback carousel. So why is it now that when you bring in this young player, you take away the best player that you have? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense to me. I understand that running backs, as I like to say, are getting treated like Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z right now. He does all the work, gets no credit. All right, running backs do all the work for these teams, get no credit, and they're not getting paid either.
It continues the trend of devaluation of the position, right? Like, we talking about a real talent in Jonathan
Led the league
Taylor.
in rushing 2 years ago.
Yeah, so when you get to that point and you start thinking about what Jim Irsay said this offseason, we going to go on without Jonathan Taylor, this league will go on. So not only was it a bad blood situation created, now you start, as a player, start thinking about, well, will you ever value me here, right? And I think, look, I know this is a messy situation. The Colts did Jonathan Taylor a favor by allowing him to request a trade because Jonathan Taylor's relationship with the Indianapolis Colts, I felt like after Jim Irsay spoke about it, was not salvageable. I thought it was a wrap on him being there and being the player that he truly wanted to be. So for me, this is a win-win situation. Now it boils down to what Shefty alluded to. What is the value that other teams see, which is the most important?
So what was the comments that Jim Irsay said that made this relationship go sour? If you heard, RG3 speaking, and then you heard Swagoo speaking, Marcus Spears. I'm sorry, you heard Marcus Spears speaking, and he said, man, he didn't think this was salvageable. And what happened? I was explaining how Saquon Barkley was in his situation with the Giants, and in the midst of that, Jim Irsay sends out a tweet. And the tweet read, NFL running back situation. We have negotiated a CBA that took years of effort and hard work and compromise and good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category or specific position player category wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith. So you send that tweet out as a response to Saquon Barkley trying to better his opportunities. Don't franchise tag me, because if you do, I'm not going to play under the franchise tag. Let's get a deal done. That's basically what Saquon was trying to force New York to do. Get a deal done. We just got a deal done for Daniel Jones. Why don't you handcuff us, lock us up? Give me the same 3-year deal he got, man. Let's move and keep it pushing, man. We got a good opportunity to make some noise this year. But it seems like the owners have gotten together and really decided, look, this is how we go save money. We're not going to pay the running backs. We'll pay the quarterbacks. We might pay his receiver if he's like that. But the position that we're not going to pay is running back, because we really don't have to. Because we can get them easily in the draft. The shelf life is short. And it's a waste of money to pay them. It doesn't pan out. They think the only valuable position on offense is really the quarterback and whoever the quarterback wants to throw to. That's how they see it. So Saquon, no matter how elite he is, no matter how elite Jonathan Taylor is, they're gonna go with the same setup that they sound like they agreed to. That look, we're not gonna pay them. We're gonna make them play their rookie contract. And we negotiated that we can franchise tag them twice. So that gives us our 6 years and we can wash our hands with them. So basically that tweet told Jonathan Taylor, who's in his contract year, last year, his rookie deal, and he sees, oh man, they gonna do me the same way they did Saquon. And how do I know that? Because my owner just basically came out and a roundabout way said it in his tweet. Right? In his mind, any running back that is trying to negotiate a deal when we can still use franchise tag on you two times, trying to get a deal before that is inappropriate in his mind. He's looking at that like, nah, that's not gonna. So he said, I can see my future. And the mistake that Jim Irsay made is, oh man, you ever had a person it was a clip when Mike Tyson was on an interview, I think with like Barbara Waters or somebody like that, when he was married to Robin Givens, and he was on there with her and maybe her mom, I can't remember. It might have just been them two on the interview. And this was after they was having some issues in their marriage, and Mike Tyson displayed some rage and stuff like that. And he was trying to be a kind kinder, gentler person for the sake of his wife, right? So they're on this interview, and this aired live, and they asked Robin Givens about, the issues. And she talked about Mike like he wasn't even in the room, and he was sitting right there. And she talked about him like he was an animal. Right? It was like, you got to look it up. It was ridiculous how she talked about him. Mike was he was thinking like, oh shoot, I'm on camera. I already got this bad reputation of spazzing out. I don't want to spaz out, but this lady is talking about me like I'm not even here, and expected him not to do nothing because, look, man, what you gonna do? That's basically what he said. Man, I'm gonna tweet this crazy stuff and talk about this running back, but really, it's the same position. You said that the particular player category, which is running back, we know what you're talking about, and you got a running back that's in that same situation. So you might have been talking about Barkley, but you also talking about Jonathan Taylor, your running back, because they're in the same situation. So how you expect me to read that tweet and then come back and come bust my head for you, knowing next year you're going to franchise tag me and not give me a deal, and then you're probably going to franchise tag me again. So you're telling me I got to survive that contract. If I perform well this year, we go into negotiations. You're not going to lock me up because I can't even test free agency. You can franchise tag me and that's it. Right? So it don't matter how I perform, you're not going to lock me up because you can save money by franchise tagging me. So the writing was on the wall for him, and he was like, "Nah, put me in a situation where I can feel value with someone who's gonna be real with me, who's not gonna be saying BS like that, right?" So so the unfortunate part about this is the Colts not going to trade him, right? So they pretty much is what's going on. This is posturing by the Colts. They're telling him to go seek your trade. You got permission to seek a trade, but all that's going to do is, look, I already know what's popping because we have meetings with the other owners all the time. I know what's popping. I'm going to ask for something that I know they're not going to give me. I'm going to ask for a first rounder, and they're not going to give me a first rounder, right? There's not a lot of teams. Whatever team that need a running back right now probably need other things as well, and it's not going to be a good thing for them to get up their first rounder for Jonathan Taylor, especially if people think like Jim Irsay about running backs. So they know that. Go test it out. You go find out that what I'm asking for, no one's going to be willing to give me. So guess what? We're going to be stuck with each other, and you got to play for us. That's basically what's going on. Go seek it. Go ahead. But yeah, I know you'll be back. I know you'll be back. And I think that's what's going on. I don't know if this trade actually gets done. But the thing that's unfortunate about it, I don't know if this relationship gets fixed either. And that's probably going to be more of a disaster for Jonathan Taylor than it is for the Colts, right? So that's my thoughts on that, man. But as always, like and subscribe, leave comments. What you think about every topic that we hit today, especially this Jonathan Taylor thing. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you share the feed. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.